now we go more into goal setting, and that goes back into the totality of yourself. Where do you want to be in the future? And I put 4 main topics here because I think every one of us should have goals on all things. Because if you want to be a healthy human being, it's important not just to focus on business. If you're younger, most probably it's even number 1. If you don't have kids and family, then it's 100% number 1. But what I found out for myself and seen interviewing a lot of people over the last years, you need to have a balanced life as a totality. That's why I want to emphasize this for you as well early on. Focus on all 4 pillars. The pillars are family and friends. If you have a family, if you're not taking care of them, if you're not spending, in my case, spending time with my daughter, spending time with my wife, there will be a time in the future, if I'm working 24/7, where they say, hey, thank you, but we don't want to spend time with you anymore. Health, the same. If you work 24/7 as a startup founder, which a lot of us are putting more work in than in other jobs, if you're not healthy, you can't sustain that long term. Obviously, the business part, which everyone gets, if you have a business and you focus on the business to grow it, it's not helpful. And then I add the personal brand. I highly recommend every one of you doing that in the way you're comfortable with, building and nurturing your personal brand. And you don't need to be as public as I am. I can just tell you this is one of the biggest benefits I have. I can shoot out a question to a lot of people I'm connected to, and I think 80% of the people will answer me if I'm not trying to sell something. So there are huge opportunities in this. And you need to start measuring it. What gets measured gets done. And that's a critical part for all of this. So how do you build metrics around your family and friends? What are the things? And I love output metrics. Sometimes we focus just on input. That, okay, I play 1 hour per day with my daughter. That's good already, but that's not measuring output. So what are the things that help you to measure output? Married to my wife, which is the same wife I have today, in 2040. So this can be a goal, and you can measure that. This is just a yes/no goal, but just giving you an example. And of course, you could say time spent with family, and then you can measure how much time you spend per month, per year, per 5 years. So this is just giving you an example. Let's do an easier one. That's health. I always use the example weight. So I want to be healthy, and weight and fat percentages is a measurement which helps you to understand if you're healthy or not healthy. So you can have, let's just put a couple of numbers. Let's say you are whatever kilos right now, let's say 80, 85, and you know that this is not healthy for the height you are, and then you just, okay, I will put 80 in a year from now, and I want to keep between 75 and 79 in 5 years. So this gives you a clear measurable goal. Obviously you do this, hopefully I do, with a business topic where you go really into details. If you have an easy thing, weight, you can measure this daily. And then you might think that's a little bit obsessive, but if you want to reach a goal, as more you measure, as better it is. If you measure sales every day, then you know exactly how much sales you do and what is impacting that sales. Same with all the other topics. So this is an example here. Business, obviously, as you just said it, you can use sales. You can use users of the platform if you build a digital product. Whatever you do, it helps you to measure that. Then you can put a goal, which is what is your goal in a year from now? What is your monthly goal? And then you can write it down and follow it up on a daily basis. Personal brand, the same. Depending on what your personal brand is about, you could say, for me, one of my goals is speaking requests. I want to speak at least monthly on stage and getting paid for that properly over the next years. So if I'm not getting speaking requests, then I'm not building my brand in a way that people are interested in having me on stage speaking. And then depending on what the metrics are for you, if you just use them, build them up, and then measure them at least weekly, more is better in this, at least in my eyes. That's maybe the German way of thinking, but it helps you to get into these topics. And find out what your goals are. It's often daunting. Some people struggle with this because you're not tuned into goal setting on specifics. And it's really about be specific as possible. And then you most probably have about smart goal setting. It just helps you to put goals which are as well achievable and then how you can measure them. So really put goals for yourself so that you understand where do you want to go and what are the things that help you measure it.